7 in 10 Americans were out somewhere shopping on Black Friday or on Cyber Monday, but are they spending wisely? Where's that money going? 270 million Americans expected to buy something from someone this year. According to the National Retail Federation, those people spend up to $960 billion between now and January 1st, up 8% over last year. Of course, inflation's up 8% over last year. You got that going for you. Reed Allmand is an expert on personal debt. He's also a Board Certified Consumer Bankruptcy attorney. Deck the malls. What to expect from consumer spending this holiday season. Reed, good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much.
Greatly appreciated.
It looks like, yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Well, I was just going to tell you, for the holiday spending, it seems like that it's trending up, and lots of people are out there, shopping and spending money. And so it looks like, a lot of people are not too concerned about the inflation.
Yeah, but I saw this. I saw that people are spending a lot of money, but compared to last year, for what you paid to get 16 items last year, this year you get 9. So you might be out there spending the money, but with inflation, obviously you're spending more money, a lot more money in some cases, for a lot less, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything has gone up in price. And
so what does that mean for consumers? Are they going to, so if the spending goes up 5%, but inflation goes up on average for the year 8%, and I don't know where it's going to final out for the year, but obviously people get less for what they're spending. So what is the overall feel then? And for retailers, they've got higher expenses too. They've got higher wages if they can find employees. They've got other challenges to deal with. So it really needs to be a bang-up year, or it can be difficult for retailers. We're already seeing companies like furniture companies lay off massive amounts of people because inflation went up. A lot of people buy furniture on time. And, well, with higher interest rates following, sales have crashed. So companies are closing, actually. It's a problem.
Right. There's a rash of bankruptcy filings for brick and mortar retail operators, right during and after COVID. So they really haven't recovered. A lot of the stuff is shifting more online, and if they don't have a good time this year, with the sales, you probably expect to see more of those seeking bankruptcy relief come at the beginning of 2023.
Now let's focus on your expertise a little bit. Consumer spending, consumer debt. All right. If people are out there spending more and getting less, but they're still racking up their credit cards, and simultaneously running a parallel with that, are interest rates going higher? Because every time the Fed raises interest rates, many credit card payments go higher, right? The interest rates follow up. This could be a real problem for consumer debt that's on the rise in a more dramatic way than it has been in a while. What do you see in that crystal ball?
Traditionally, we see come January, February of 2023, we see more filings coming from people who are getting the bills and maybe overextended themselves. I think the key is it depends on what you're spending. If you're getting payday loans, if you're getting high interest loans and spending money, then you're walking a really tightrope that if something happens where you have an interruption income, you could be looking at potentially losing your car, your house, and needing to seek bankruptcy relief.
Look, I'm concerned because some of these interest rates, you miss one payment, and the default interest rate's what, 29.9% I saw once. I think that's still the case. If you miss a payment, it can go from whatever you're paying now, which is too high to begin with, 11, 12, 13% in many cases, and sometimes higher. It goes to the default rate, which is basically 30%. It's almost loan sharking. This can really hurt people, can it?
Oh, absolutely. These are some of the highest interest rates I've seen since I've been practicing in 20 years. And it's, related to the prime interest rate. It's just really, really dangerous to incur a lot of debt right now if you don't have the resources to get it paid off quickly.
Yeah. So do you have any strategies then for the folks? All right, you're going to go spend. You're going to use a little bit you're going to, they're going to use that credit card some, but they're not sure how much. Do you have some guidelines, some bumpers, some rules of the road, if you will, to make sure you don't wake up in February and go, oh, my God, what have I done?
Right. Is it, you really need to budget, and ideally you're going to have at least, 6 months of reserves, available in case you do have an interruption in employment. And, just really know your numbers and try to stay on that budget. There's some things you can do as well. Like, for example, our family, we started a few years ago thinking about what we're going to do the following year, if we're going to go on a spring break trip or things like that. And then we would print out a sheet from the copier with a picture of what we're doing and wrap that in a box. So it's something you're planning on doing anyway. You just announce it at Christmas and unwrap it and get to do those experiences rather than, incurring a lot of debt for stuff.
Yeah. And how about the idea of a family gift? There might be one item that's a little bit more expensive, but, it's for everybody. I throw out the idea of a TV, everybody, because TVs, but, look at how cheap TVs are, actually, from what they used to be. I mean, I remember my grandmother bought a Sony Trinitron way back in the day, and it was a few $100s back, like in the 1980s. And we were like, oh, my God, how can somebody spend that much money on a TV? TVs are the same price today. You can go into these big box stores like Costco, and for $500, you can get a giant flat-screen TV.
Right.
Every day, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can have one in every room of your house. So I think the family giving is something, is a great idea. And then maybe just, one or two small gifts. Just, try to focus on the spirit of the season and not just racking up, items and debt that you may not be able to afford.
Right. There you go. Well, Reed Allmand, greatly appreciated, an expert on personal debt.